created by Gustav Eiffel. His biggest fear? Heights. This came up a couple years after the Washington Monument, I learned. Washington Monument at the time was the largest structure ever created on the planet. And this came up after that. It's crazy. Afraid of heights. Go figure. Who's that?
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere. So I know we have more women in the audience. Pretty woman. Julia Roberts. Imagine a world without pretty women. She really broke boundaries for so many women. She raised the pay, everything. One of the highest paid actresses ever, worth $140 million. Right? Her biggest fear? Public speaking. I'm actually a little afraid of it too, but I still do it anyway. Public speaking, but she does it anyway, regardless. Who's that? Mr. Bean. Everybody loves Mr. Bean. Do they show it all the time? We have like 3 channels in Canada, and this is the only show they show all the time. It's awesome. He's hilarious. Rowan Atkinson. Bullied as a child. Bullied his whole life. Prime Minister Tony Blair was 2 years older than him, and so he went through school and he recalls how badly this guy was bullied. You know what he was bullied for? Stuttering. He had a huge stuttering problem, but one day he walks into drama class because he really wants to get over his fear, and he realizes that when he's on stage, he doesn't stutter. Goes on to become an incredible actor and comedian, and he's just so freaking funny. It's funny that his role, he doesn't talk. Kind of funny. So, I'm going to do this in 1 second, but I've talked to you guys today a little bit about how bad things that happen in your life can either empower you or destroy you. You ultimately give meaning to everything that happens in your life. Someone cuts you off, you can get angry, or you can say, what if that person is speeding to the hospital for a mom that's dying? You gave it meaning. When you see something, perception's reality. So the trick of life is to give things the right meaning so that you can take appropriate action. So how do I do this? There's this thing that I used to do when I was little. My parents growing up, we had no money. We made like very little money. We immigrated from Chile to Canada with $1,000, from like really nice weather to basically an igloo. My parents didn't speak the language, and they gave up everything for me, pretty much their whole life. My mom was a nurse, my dad was an engineer, and they gave up everything. And so anyway, I was 12 years old, and somehow they were putting me through private school, and I didn't know the value of money at the time, and they told me like, hey, I tell them, I'm like, what do you want for Christmas? And I say, I want a Super Nintendo, because the Super Nintendo came up at that time. I was like, hey, Super Nintendo, sweet, that's what I want. And then my dad, I don't know how he afforded it at the time. I really don't know now that I know, because I retired my parents actually 6 months ago thanks to Beachbody. They had worked for 35 years in a home daycare. They came here, my dad used to work in a fur factory. Imagine going from engineer to working in a fur factory, right? So anyway, when I was 12, I had the audacity to ask him for something that I knew they couldn't afford. And my dad says, you know what? I'll buy that for you if you listen to these tapes. And they're like tapes at the time, right? So I'm like, okay, how many are there? So I do the math, like 30 days, I'm like, sweet. And you gotta do this little journal. I'm like, yeah, no problem, I can do that. Little did I know that that little tape book with the journal would change my entire life. The program was called Personal Power by the Guthrie Ranker Corporation. I still remember that. Anyway, so this whole thing's produced. So I do the whole thing, I fail at doing it like twice. I don't get the Super Nintendo, my dad was pretty strict. But then I finally do the whole thing, I do the whole program. Little did I know that my dad was completely tricking me into learning things that would later on help me more than I can honestly say school ever did. Right? It taught me to set goals, it taught me to visualize, and one key thing that I can tell you that has helped me my entire life is this thing called visualization. Visualization exercises. And I do them every single day without fail. I do them in the shower. My wife always yells at me. She's like, what are you doing in the freaking shower? Right? That's the only time that I can actually go into the shower and no one's bugging me on my phone. Right? So I'm literally just focused. And I do a visualization exercise every single day. I've been doing it since I was 13 years old. And the funny thing is, I could tell you that it might be luck, but every single thing that I visualized has happened. 3 kids, marrying a beautiful woman, Miguel Carrasco, that would support me, and become an elite coach on her very own. I gave her a coach once, they quit. So, I didn't work out so good. So how did I do that? I visualized every day, because life will beat you every single day. Every single day it will. So you need to have at least one moment in your life, 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, to visualize and set some goals for yourself, so that you can happen to life instead of life happening to you. If you don't do what we're about to do every single day, you're basically going out there and saying, give it to me, world, let's see what happens today. I got a plan, it'll happen someday, but I don't really have a plan for today. So usually I do it longer. I'll do like a plan for the day, and then I'll do a 2 to 3 year out plan. And I'm going to talk about things today, just so you know, that might not happen in terms of like Beachbody, because I do a visualization where I think where we'll be as a Beachbody company in 2 or 3 years. So I don't want you to think, oh, is that where we're going? Because I just made it up, just to be totally fair. But I do these visualizations all the time, and everything I've done, I was like, I'm going to become a diamond coach in a month, diamond coach in 24 days. I'm going to become an elite coach, the first elite coach in Canada, done in a year. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it always seems to happen. And the times that I screw up is because I stopped visualizing. And I stopped going to church too, that's bad. I keep going to church. Right? You don't have to, that's just my personal belief. But so I want to do this with you guys. Are you guys okay to do a visualization exercise with me? If you're not, that's cool, you can leave, but it's really, really cool. I know, no, I'm serious. Some people have religious beliefs, I don't want to impose on them. We're going to do a visualization exercise. It's not religious, it's a visualization. So if we can dim the lights, and if we can, once those are dimmed, we're going to play the music. I need you to take everything out of your hands as well. You can't hold anything. All right. You can turn it up a little more as well. Thank you. Okay, close your eyes. Nothing in your hands. Take a big deep breath in and a deep breath out. Another deep breath in, hold it, and a deep breath out. Wiggle your toes, your fingers. You wake up. You smell the amazing coffee brewing downstairs. You look to the left of you, and that beautiful person you were meant to spend the rest of your life with is sleeping beside you. You get out of bed. You walk over to the window, and you see that beautiful car that you've always wanted your whole life, but were afraid to buy, thought you could never afford, is sitting there. You walk down the stairs, your bags are packed, your 3 kids are playing, they're having a great time, they're doing amazing in school. You call your parents, you ask them if they're ready to go. You call your star diamonds and you say, hey, today's the day, let's go guys. You go to the airport, you land in Dallas, Texas. It's 2018. You walk in, it's the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. 80,000 Beachbody coaches screaming, chanting, excited, passionate. You see a video start playing. It's your life's video. The people that said you couldn't do it. The person that called you overweight. The boyfriend that broke up with you. The teacher that said you were stupid. All of the things that happened in your life are gone. They're history. They're gone. They're dead. Carl standing on stage, going through your accolades of everything you went through. He hands you the microphone. He says, the floor is yours. And in that moment, you look out into the audience and you see 5,000 of your team crying, so happy for you. And in that moment, all you can think of is what you won't do for them to one day be up on that stage with you them winning the top coach title 2017 because you love them. You can open your eyes. You can leave the lights off for a second, actually. You can keep the song playing. That's a visualization exercise. And I promise you, it takes no time to do. But it will change your life, because it changed mine, and it's changed lives before me. But so many of us don't do it, because we think we'll just do it tomorrow. I want to do one more thing with you guys. I want you guys all to take out your cell phones. And I want you to think of somebody in your life that is no longer here with you, that you love, that you care about. I want you to think of, maybe some of you have war veterans that didn't come back. Some of you have people that gave their lives for this incredible country, for the freedom of the US, for the freedom of Canada, and didn't make it. And if you have someone in your life that passed away, I want you to turn on the light on your phone. Just flick it up and just turn it on. I want you to look at all those lights, all those people around you. If you've lost someone in your life, those are lights that are no longer here, or so we think. They are still here. They are here within you. And it's up to you to let their light shine. I love you guys. Live with passion, dream the extreme.